Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. We're back at it with another weekly markup. And I was about to finish my weekly markup because I need to do NZDCAD, but I was like, you know what, let me just do it live. So we're gonna do it live, right? So right now, we're gonna hop on NZDCAD and let me do this right here. So we always start off from the monthly. So I already finished UJ, GJ, GU, and USDCAD. I'm not doing the weekly markup this week because I'm still in a trade right now on USDCAD buys. Which actually, let me go over that first. Which when I'm in a trade, I mean it's still technically looking bearish, monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, and look at my last week's analysis, I'm fully bearish. But I did take a counter trend trade. If you got into the 4 hour and the 1 hour, you can see on the 1 hour it had a previous area of strong demand that gave us the retest into the previous area of supply and demand. You can see on the 4 hour, previous area of supply, price came back and tested it right here on the 1 hour, and that was my target, that was my TP. So we hop into the 30-minute. You can see this area of strong demand. Price had broken below it, then broke back above it, broken below it to clear all of these lows, and this is where I started looking for. After this move happened right here, strong push to the upside, input within the range, price tested it, respected it perfectly, and then boom, we had this is a perfect input within the range test. Shout out to Hold Vision, by the way. And instantly it got respected, and boom, this is where we took the trade right here. We did go into some drawdown right here, which I closed minus 2 pips, and then I got back in once I started seeing the full push. And then I'm still in the trade right now. We literally just we closed everything already. So let me see, USDCAD. You can see we closed everything. It was a small risk trade, but it was still a good trade for 40 pips. So that's why we're still holding it. So what I think price could do, it could either test it and continue bullish, or break below this zone and continue bearish. So that's why I'm still kind of holding my bias. But now let's get into the weekly markup. So let's get into the NZDCAD. You always want to start off on the monthly. So we could already start eyeing areas of supply and demand, which is 0.96. And then we got this area right here, 0.76, 500. And then we have this other right here at 0.80. And then we have this minor, the lowest of the lows, which is 0.60. You see, that's so annoying, the freaking ads, bro. Then we have another one right here at 0.62. And then we have this. Actually, we could put it all the way down here. 0.86. So now these are monthly supply and demand zones, or key levels, right? So we hop into the weekly. Well, actually on the monthly we could already start seeing, I made these right here, the closest ones, which is 0.785. And then when we hop into the weekly, this one right here, yeah, it doesn't start all the way from the back there. So this is a nice area of supply, 0.72500. And then there was another one right here, and you can see another little area of supply, but the one that matters is the closest one, which is 0.72500. So now off of the monthly, you could already see price was bearish, right? It tested 0.76500, and then we had a huge push to the upside. and then we retraced, but we didn't retrace all the way to 0.76 500. We retraced to 0.80, which obviously 0.80 has been a strong previous area of demand, supply below, and it was demand again, and then we respected 0.86, and that got respected as supply, and then it pushed back down to 0.80. And then right now price is currently floating in the range of between 0.78 500 and 0.82 500. You can see we have this double bottom below or above 0.78 500 but below 0.80, and then we have this monthly bullish engulfing candle, huge bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, and price is above 0.80 as well. And what is also this starting to look like? We could even stretch it all the way from down here, an uptrend. So bearish turning bullish, but I could already call this bullish. So on the monthly, we're bullish. Double bottom above 0.78 500. I'm not a professional typer. I'm a fucking professional trader. So, and then we have a bullish engulfing candle above 0.80. And then more data that we could get from this is that price could, one, bullish engulf. We have to wait for the bullish engulfing candle because look, the monthly candle closes in 4 days. This could still be a huge wick. I still need price to continue bullish. Even if it closes like this, as long as it closes bullish and above 0.80, we should be fine. But if in the next 4 days price closes below 0.80 and rejects below it, now we have to watch out for it. But the next possible target that we could be eyeing for NZDCAD is 0.82 500, and that is 200 pips away. I already know on the weekly we're bullish. We used to hop into the weekly. And this top-down analysis idea, I got it from Lambo Raul, Sean Lee, FX Alex G, Q Banks, who else does, Raja Banks. They all say that before you hop into your trades, you have to do your full top-down analysis. So now on the weekly, we could already see we're also bullish. The bullish trend respected. Monthly bullish, not only do we have the monthly bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, but we have a weekly bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, and this is starting to look like a higher low above 0.80. So now bullish trend, bullish trend was respected. Weekly bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, and then we have the next possible target for the weekly could be, you can see we have a previous area of supply right here and demand right here. This could be the next possible target for the weekly, and that is 100 pips away. So now I hop into the daily. We have multiple targets. We have our monthly target and then our weekly target. And the daily, we were kind of turning bearish, but I would not say we're bearish till we break below 0.80. Obviously, because on the 4 hour we already are bearish. Actually, yeah, we are bearish on the 4 hour. So on the daily, we could say that it's bullish turning bearish, because obviously it did respect this previous area of supply, which was strong previous area of supply before, and then it was pretty strong area of demand as well, which I got respected as supply. But now we're still bullish because price is still above 0.80. As long as price is above our key levels, our key strong our key areas of supply and demand, we should be bullish, and this could literally be a higher time frame, higher low. So on the daily, on the weekly, our next possible target could be 0.81 300. On the daily, we're bullish, but we're turning bearish. You can see we do have a daily bullish engulfing candle above 0.80 and the higher low. So we have a higher low and bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, higher low bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, but price failed to did break above 0.81 300. And then we have a lower high and a bearish engulfing candle. Below 0.81 300. Possible trades at 0.80. And the H4, H1, we are bearish, so we need to wait for the H1 and the H1 to be bullish before we could start looking for buys. And already you could see on the H1 we already broke above a previous area of support. So as long as price maybe stays above this area of support, we could be looking for the potential buys. Or price could come all the way back down as well to 0.80. So now on the 4 hour you could already see we're bearish. We have a H4 double top below 0.81. Actually 0.81 400, but 0.81 300. So we have a double top under 0.81 300. We have a lower high and a bearish engulfing candle below 0.81 300. And the next possible target is 0.80. So at 0.80, we could be looking for a trade. We just have to wait for the price to get to either zones. We do have a bullish engulfing candle here. Right, so maybe how price reacts to this zone, depending on how the weekly opens. Because this right now is looking like it could continue bullish from here, right? And this could have already been the test. So this would have been the first test. Price came back to take out all the people who put their stop losses at break even and continue back. So think about it, you were in buys here, and then price came back, stopped you out. You could have maybe possibly re-entered with the same, right? We're bullish above 0.80. I'm not saying to buy it, but we should remain bullish as long as price remains above these zones right here. First target would be this high right here, which was the weekly target as well. So now we just have to wait for the 4 hour and the 1 hour to be fully bullish. Maybe we could break this area of this little trend right here. This could be a trade opportunity right here. something like this, I'd be like to see for potential buys. And I would not enter sells until we break below 0.80. Because anywhere, I mean, we do have strong momentum right here that we could clear. And actually all of this could be liquidity as well, waiting for us to be cleared. Because if you think about it, there's people with stop losses right there, right there, right there and shit. So their stop loss is below here. So maybe price could come and just mess all these people over and continue bullish, or it could continue bearish. Moral of the story, we just have to wait for price to get to 0.80. Or if we actually could get this break above and the bullish engulfing candle, we should be fine. But that was technically it for NZDCAD. So now let's get into UJ. And good thing that I did all of them else. So that was technically what I do before I do the full weekly markup. So on the monthly, you could already see fully bullish, support respected above 14500. Actually, you can pause this and read it. We have a bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 153. The next possible target is 160, 162. This is the main high at 160, 161, but 162 technically. So the next target is literally 162 on the monthly. And we are above a previous area of strong supply, which is 158,500. You can see it on the weekly. 158,500, previous area of strong supply. We got weaker on this test and then we broke it, and now we're creating higher lows above it. So now we just need to wait for price to break above 160, and the next target would be 162. On the weekly, we're bullish. We wouldn't be bearish until we break below 158,500, and the next target would be 153. Let me put this over here so it looks cleaner. So on the daily we're kind of ranging, but we're still bullish. As you can see, price did test 160, but it failed to keep on breaking highs and then broke back below, and then it failed to keep on breaking below 158,500, and then it's ranging between these two. I mean, we did break below it, but to come and test this previous area of demand, we tested and we respected it, and we hop back up. So maybe until we could break below this area right here, actually, we would be looking for potential sells, right? Because we could come test below 158 and then fake out again. And then on the 4 hour, well, the 4 hour is bullish turning bearish, because obviously it's failing to break above these highs. Previous area of strong supply, they tested it and now respecting it. And then look, H4 bearish engulfing candle and lower highs below. So now price is literally on the way back to 158 again. So actually we could have capitalized on this trade. Could have already been up a good 30 pips. But now we do have this zone right here, so let's see what price does. It could either give us a trade below it, or it could give us a trade above it. Well, what I would like to see now is maybe just price to test 158,500 and give us a test off there, because that's obviously the next target. Now let's get into GJ. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish, correlating with, well, actually kind of correlating with UJ, but UJ is turning bearish on the smaller time frames. So on the monthly, GJ fully bullish, as you can see. Previous area of strong area of demand, supply below, demand above. The same shit as support, resistance below, support above is the same thing. It's just the main thing for me, the difference between area of supply and demand and support and resistance is just, to me, this is a support, right? But this is a area of supply right here. It's just one clean test. This is an area of demand right here. Just one clean test. So this is what I like to call support. This is what I like to call the area of demand. It's just that. But then over time, it's gonna start to look like a support, because that's just how price is. It comes and retests previous areas. So eventually any demand will turn into a support, right, in due time. So we're fully bullish on the monthly. On the weekly, wait, look at this. Previous area of strong supply, bullish engulfing candle above, and then we have a higher low above 208. So a previous area of strong supply turned into what? A strong area of demand, exactly. And then a previous area of, you can see over here, huge strong supply. It got tested, but it didn't show any strength, because obviously buyers are more in control, and now we're testing it again at 215. So now if price can break above it and give us a higher low, dude, we're flying to 240. And that is a 2,000 pip run right there. So if we could get the bullish engulfing candle, a monthly bullish engulfing candle, and a monthly higher low above 215, that'd be solid for buys all the way to 240. But we have to wait. But the time's gonna pass regardless. So might as well make some freaking money in the charts. So on the weekly, we're bullish. Previous area of supply, bullish engulfing candle, higher low above. Previous area of supply below 215. We're actually just broke above it, and actually I had gotten into a trade. GJ buys, we secured 25 pips, and then price came back and stopped me out at break even, which was actually GJ long. So it was this trade right here. As you can see, price, it was a good trade. Price gave me 30 pips, and then boom, came back to my entry, to my perfect entry, and then flew to target. Which you can see the target right here was 215,700. We're gonna go over it right now. Look at this shit. You cannot make this up. So now the daily, fully bullish, support expected above 208, bullish engulfing candle and higher lows above 215. And then you hop into the 4 hour. You can see when I took the trade, price was right above 215. So let's finish off with the weekly market. Supply zone below, or resistance zone below 215. 700 being respected, but I do believe we're gonna break it, because obviously price is still bullish, and I would have still been holding this trade if price wanted to take me out at entry. But man, GG has been flying lately. Look at this. So on the 1 hour, where did I take this trade? I took it somewhere around here, because I did go into some drawdown. I knew that price was gonna come into this previous area of demand right here, and it did, because this one had already been tested, and I knew that most likely people had already their stop losses below here. So I had gotten into the trades. What was this one? So this on the 15-minute. I've identified the liquidity created. Price was above, and then look, this is the double bottom that I had talked about, and then this is where price came. This is where price came back and tested the demand zone that I just mentioned. And so I got in somewhere right here. I went into some drawdown, but I was fine because my stop loss was perfect, and then price came right back. I got in a little bit more, and then boom, price flew, and then this is where I secured. Price came back, took me out at entry, and then boom, flew to TP. But that was the trade right here. This was a position, and I had gotten in because I was already starting to see this right here, some push, but I had also seen this area of demand. You can see it more clearly if you just imagine the line, or not imagine it, you could just draw it. You see? So we have a strong area of demand. Price came back and tested it, and then we had the instant reaction to it above 215, created a higher low and continued bullish. That's the only thing that sucks, when price comes back and takes you out at entry and flies back up. So my entry was actually somewhere like right here, because price took me out barely. So if I would have just had in a better entry, or even re-entered somewhere right here, I would have been fine. You know what? You live and you learn. Now we're holding. Now we're just waiting. Now the next position could be if price breaks above this zone right here, and we could get a bullish engulfing candle, and then the higher low above. solid. And obviously no sales until we get the break below 215, and even below this zone right here. I would like to see a bearish engulfing candle and a lower high below this before we start looking for sales. Or maybe for another potential sell, price could come, clear highs, and it could maybe give us an area of supply which breaks structure, which is another stronger input within the range. Price tests it, and then the next target would be all the way to 215. But then you would have to wait for all of this price action to be created. You can't just enter now and hope that it's going to happen. No, you have to react to the market, not predict. So now that was technically GJ, we're fully bullish. Now we just have to wait. So now last but not least, GBPUSD correlating with GJ actually. Look at this, fully bullish on everywhere. So now let's hop into GBPUSD. On the monthly, you can already see we're fully bullish. Previous area of support respected about 120. Bullish engulfing candle above another previous area of supply and demand, which is 132. We had tested 138, as you can see, which is another previous area of strong supply, but the drop gave us a push only to 132, and that 132 got respected. Then on the weekly, you could already see bullish engulfing candle above 132, another bullish engulfing candle above 134,500, which you can see on the weekly. Previous area, actually you can see it better on the daily. Previous area of supply, somewhat demand over here, and then after the bullish engulfing candle and the higher low, it's looking like another area of demand being respected. So this, right? So the next potential target could be 138. Actually, yeah. But smaller time frame target could be this wick right here. So the weekly bullish, monthly bullish, and then the weekly I'd like to target all the way to 138. So the daily bullish engulfing candle and higher low above 132, bullish engulfing candle and higher low of 134,500. We do have this area of supply being respected, but it shouldn't have any strength. And why shouldn't it have any strength? And what do I mean by it shouldn't have any strength? If really sellers are strong here, right, that give us this full push to the downside, then when price tested again, it should really give us another push to the downside. But what is it doing? It's looking like it's creating a higher low above 134,500, which is a pretty strong area of supply and demand, and now it's respecting it as demand. So now if we test it, this zone, if we test this zone again, after testing 34,500 and creating the higher low, we're only looking even more weaker until we break it and continue bullish. That's one of the things I've learned over my years of trading is the more you test the zone, the more likely that it will break it, right? It's just like a too good to be true setup. Because most likely the retail trader, I mean, we're all retail traders at the end of the day, but like the more novice trader is looking at it like a area of resistance, but you're not seeing the higher lows that are being created, right? So you have to peep out of that. So now in the 4 hour, we were bearish. You can see we were turning bearish, but now we flipped back bullish after this higher low and bullish engulfing candles above 134,500. You can see previous area of demand, supply below, supply below, supply below, and then boom, we tested and respected it perfectly, 134,500. You see how these freaking levels matter so much in the smaller time frames. 134,500, 132. So now the next target for these smaller time frames would be this high right here, right? And more than likely we will break it. We will continue to be bullish, break it, and either continue highs by creating a higher low above it, or maybe we could test it and continue back down to 134,100, or at least that would be the next target. And obviously no sales again till we break below 134,100, and the next target would be 132 if price were to sell. So we're here to react to the market, not to predict. That's technically it. USDCAD, we're still in the trade, so we're holding. So the bias right now for the smaller time frame is bullish, but higher time frame we're bearish. You know, especially if we could break above this zone, we could potentially get more buys. Or we could break below this zone, we could get more sells, right? And it would be taking us out at entry on these buys, on this buy position that I had gotten. But I mean, it wouldn't matter because the target already got hit. Beautiful. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I commend you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for your entire family. Back to work.